perfect loops. I'm going to introduce you to this one-step looper, a really, really handy tool, and you're going to love it because it's going to make life so much easier. I'm very quickly going to take you to the website, just really, really quickly, just to jump over there to show you the bundles we have today. And if you have watched our live yesterday, but I'm gonna turn you to the website, but I'm going to talk you through it. So if you watched us yesterday, our anniversary live, those bundles are only available until midnight today. So if you want to add any of those to your orders, we had some amazing offers. Perhaps I'll pop and show you that just in a second as well. So today we have the lava beads collection. We have 6 different colors. So you got your silver, you got your rhodium, you got your gunmetal black, also you got gold, champagne gold, and rose gold. Now what we did, we bundled the golds together, so the rose gold, the champagne gold, and the gold together, and bundled the silvers together. So you got your silver, you got your rhodium, and you got your gunmetal back, and it's kind of like 3 for 2 offer. So you get all 3 packs for the price of 3. This is the one-step looper what I really want you to have a look at today, because it makes life so easier, and I'm going to show you how to use them. And also, I'm very quickly just want to pop over to yesterday's anniversary live, because we put, and thank you so much. We have so many orders. I have to say thank you to supporting us for throughout the last year. We have so many orders that I'm going to Simon already said, you know, tomorrow we're going to have to stay over. No, we have to do overtime to finish all these up, because tomorrow I'm personally going in and overseeing putting these bundles together to make sure you get exactly the right colors, how I envisioned it, and you can work together with it. Now the rose gold is sold out, but all the other colors are still there. So I know another 2 colors, I'm not going to say which one, but another 2 colors are very close to selling out. It's only available today. Tomorrow it will be gone and you won't be able to buy it. These are half price bundles for our anniversary, to celebrate our 1-year anniversary on doing the lives. I mean, can you imagine, like a year gone past, and this is today's one, so you can check that as well. But I'm not going to bore you on the website much, because I'm going to take you down to my mat and I'm going to show you all of them in real life, and I'm going to show you how they really look like and what you can do with it. So without further ado, let's pop down to the mat and let's have a look at these samples. So lava beads, they are really, really nice. They mined a mineral, and they played them all sorts of different colors. So usually the normal color is black, but now with all sorts of electroplating and vacuum plating and all sorts of plating they do these days, you can do so many different styles, you can do so many different colors in them, and textures as well on the top of it. So the ones we have here, these are a little bit, they're shiny, but they're not too shiny. This is the champagne gold, and what we're going to be doing is creating chains, adding these beads in there. You can make so much with this kit, because you don't have to have a bead in between. These are just like joined together with a small jump ring. This looks great, again, because you get 4 different sizes in each kit, and I'll show you just in a sec, 4 different sizes of the lava beads. You can create a graduation look. So at the front you can have larger ones, and going back to the back you can have a smaller one, to really make your jewelry look very, very nice. I love it, because it's a great way to learn your loops, practice your loops. You could do all sorts of different patterns. In some places you can have a larger run of jump rings, and then you could add a few more beads. Again, 10 mil at the front, 8 mil, 6 mil, and 4 mil at the back, and only using a few pieces of beads for each one of these jewelry, but it really makes it so effective. Right, I'm going to show you this one. I'm just going to grab the rose gold one, because I just seen I left it over there on the side. that was a cue for Leanne to pass it to me. Bless her, she just popped her head up like, what do I need to get? They're just over there on the tray. Lovely. There's the champagne gold. So you could do all sorts of different, I mean, look at this, just like adding a little charm at the bottom. This will be dangling down a little. We can make a necklace a little bit longer. I'm going to show you a few more. This is all the, like, 10 mil. I just need these bags. Just 10 mil, 8 mil, 10 mil, 8 mil, all the way around. So you can have regulated that way. There is so many different, but I want to show you the rose gold. I love this one. So this one, what you can do as well, you can have a number of beads at the front, then you can have just a chain part like that, making up with the jump rings, and then you can add a different size at the top. Now what I love about these necklaces that you can make them as long as you want, and most of these necklaces made up, and I have to say thank you for Bernie, because she helped me make these necklaces up, are longer than a little bit usual, so they my kind of necklaces, because I don't like anything right up against my necks. But because you're making your own jewelry, you're really making the size you wanted to do. Now this one is a mixed one, so this is all the gold colorways mixed together. You got champagne, rose and gold on the same necklace. I love this as well because like if you go for the bundle, you can do so many different things with it, and I think this is what makes something a little bit more professional when you're using not only different sizes but like different tonal colors in there, and you can make your jewelry really look nice, just a really bit more, like it's not even just like more interesting, but it's just, you know, and you're only using 5 beads of the champagne gold, you're only using 5 beads of the rose gold and 5 beads of the gold here and some of the smaller ones, so your kit is gonna go a long way. Right, got silver here as well. Now I love this as well because what Bernie did here, she did a little bit of a double chain with the, let me just bring this up. So she did a little bit of a double chain with the jump rings there. Can you see? Just make it a little bit more prettier. The possibility is endless what you can do. I'm going to show you the basic technique. I'm going to show you the looper, and then you can put it together in any way you wanted to put it together yourself. Now here is a mixed one for the silver colors, the gunmetal black, the rhodium and the silver at the back. I love this as well because like not only you can like graduate the sizes, but you can like graduate the ombre the colors as well, so they're really great. Right, let's get started. I'm going to move these out of the way. I can see there is some questions coming in, so if you have got a question, please put a Q in front of your question so I can very easily identify it, and then I can answer it for you. Let me just pull this up on here. Lucy is gathering all the questions for me and gonna pop it in the chat. So first of all, I have to say, Jen, thank you so much for the stars. Really appreciate it, every single one of them. What you give us is very much appreciated. So this is the silver bumble. Don't forget, you can buy the gunmetal on its own, you can buy the rhodium on its own, or you can buy the silver on its own, but altogether it's 3 for 2, so you're only paying for 2 bundles and you get the third one for free. Each one of those bundles, you get 4 strands of the lava beads. You get 10 mil, 8 mil, 6 mil and 4 mil. You get air wires, you get jump rings, you get your lobster clasp, you get 4mm jump rings. So now you get 2 different sizes. This is a 6x1s, these are 4x1s. You get also, you get head pins and your eye pins, and some of these findings are in yesterday's bundles as well. So if you did get that one, then you can make even more out of it. And I'm going to show you a trick when you're using small beads that you can save some of your pins and reuse them for further. Like this is the golds. I love these ones. I use some of the rose gold. So that's not a full strand there. But again, you get the same thing in each. There's the gold. It's gold, but I call it gold because this one is champagne gold and this one is rose gold. So the gold colorway, again, you get exactly the same thing. You get gold, you get champagne gold or rose gold. You can buy them separately or you can buy the colorway together. 10mm, 8mm, 6mm, 4mm, 6mm jump rings, your lobster clasp, 4mm jump rings. Then you have your head pins and then you have your eye pins. So it's enough to make a lot of jewelry out of this one. Right, let's get started. I just need to get a few pins here for you. So actually, let me know. Let me know which color do you want me to demo with, because I have got all the colors in front of me. I have got the rose gold set up here. Like I made some so we can very easily pull them together into the chain. But I can demo any color. It doesn't have to be rose gold at all. So do let me know what color do you want me to demo, and I will demo with that one. Just move the brightness of that camera down a little bit. Dana's asking question, are lava beads in yesterday kits? No, lava beads are not yesterday kits. Yesterday was crystals and glass beads. Right, so what color are we? Champagne, Camille is saying. Rose gold, Margaret is saying. Gold would be do well in Indian jewelry, absolutely. I love some of the Indian jewelry, how they make it's just like they have all these really nice gold necklaces. Charlotte is saying, as you've already started and the rose gold has many, might as well continue. I'm thinking that with raspberry, you could add crystals in here. So you could take crystals from yesterday packs, probably with the rose gold. The sunset would go really, really nicely with this one, or the red one, or the red bundle. Silver, champagne, rose gold, see what they look like. Silver, Betty is saying, silver. Mix and match. Yeah, we could use the mix and match. Absolutely. Rose gold. A lot of people saying rose gold. So I think we're going to have to go with the rose gold. Multi. How about we go with multi? So we're going to use the rose gold mainly because I got loads of those here and quite a few strands broken down. But in the same necklace, we can use another color as well. We can mix it with any of them really. It doesn't have to be in the same bundle. We can mix it with any of them really. But let me just start and show you how to do the pins itself. So there's different ways you can do your pins, and I'll show you all of them today. You're gonna need pliers. So round nose pliers and cutters is crucial to turn your loops, or the one-step looper, which I'm going to show you just in a sec how to use. I'm also going to zoom in a little bit so you're going to see like very well what we are doing. So this is the one-step looper, and it's in one step it turns the loop on there. So I'm going to show you the traditional way, and then I'm going to show you this way. Now, I know this pair of pliers, it's not cheap, but you only have to invest in it once, and then you have it for life. I actually got 2 or 3 of these because they do make all different sizes of loops. So this one is making 2.25 millimeter loop, and that is the same sort of size of loop what you already have on the top of your eye pins. Right, let's do the traditional way first, and then I show you how to do the one-step looper. So I'm gonna take one of my beads, just a 10 millimeter bead, and I'm gonna add it on the pin itself. Now you do need to make doesn't really matter, but I love to make the same size loop on the other side to have a more of a even jewelry like you have with this one. Both of the loops pretty much the similar size, and the sizes come from, like if you look at this one size is a little bit bigger than the other, and it's still okay functionally, it will function absolutely well, but it's just this side a little bit bigger. How to make exactly the right size for your jewelry is, I'm just trying to pick up another one. See, that's quite the same size, is to get your sizing right at the beginning. So if you are, I eyeball it, and I know how much I need to cut off to make this size of loop because I've done hundreds of loops. But if you haven't done so many loops in your life and you're just starting out, you really need an easy way how to cut your loops the right length. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take an 8 millimeter bead. I'm going to pop it on the top of this. I'm going to hold the eye pin against my finger here so it can't travel back, and I'm going to trim the end. Just like that. I'm going to pop this to the side because we can create another eye pin out of this one later on. Take the 8 mil off, and I got exactly an 8 mil end there, and exactly an 8, not 8 mil. Yes, 8 mil. Oh, I had a bit of a brain freeze. Exactly 8 millimeter. I looked at the bead and I thought, oh, God, 10 millimeter. Is it 10 or 8? No, it's 8. I need another sip of my coffee, I think. Lesson learned for today: have a coffee before the Facebook Live. So have 8 mil, exactly 8 mil at the end there. And now if I'm going to go in, I'm going to hold this right at the, measure it up. So pop your brand nose plier into your eye pin just like that. And take it, make a sort of mental note, or you can even take a marker pen and mark it there. That's how far it's gone down. So when you have your bead on there, you're gonna kind of want to have it in exactly the same place. So it was about just about there. Now I'm holding it quite nice and flush. I haven't bent it over because I cut the eye pin first, or head pins, and now I'm gonna hold on to this bead, and in the same motion how I do it, I pull the eye pin towards me, I pull the pliers towards me, and at the same time I start to curl as well. So I'm doing two motions at the same time. And I'm just gonna curl until I get all the way down. Just close that in a little bit. You can always take your plier out, go in, sort of adjust it, wiggle it, go back in and turn it a little bit more, depending if it's more comfortable for you to turn away from yourself or turn towards yourself. For me, I like to turning towards myself, but it's really up to you. Right, what happens when you turn your loops? I like to be like sort of a little bit of a perfectionist, and I like my loops to sort of be the same way. So if one loop, the eye is sort of facing that way and the other one is sort of off side a little bit, sort of wonky, just hold your eye one end with a plier, hold the other side with another plier and just twist it. And once I twist it, then both of the eyes are going to be exactly the same, and I got a lovely little link made there. Now this is true for all the other beads. Now another way how I can do this, because I can eyeball these, I made so many of them, or once you made one method like that and you know that how big you need to cut off, you're gonna add the same bead on there again. And to give you a better starting point, we're gonna go ahead and bend this over a 90-degree. Now, if I added my 8mm bead on there right now and I cut the end, it's gonna be a little bit bigger. It's not gonna give you the accurate right size. So this time what I'm going to be doing, I can eyeball it. So it's kind of now I need to cut there. But if you're not sure, take the piece, what you have already cut, and just sort of hold it flush by the end. And then go in with the flush side of your cutters, just like that, and cut it to the right side. Because now this is only going to have an 8mm wire on the top, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead with my mental note I made, where do I have to catch that? I'm going to just turn it down on itself. So this time it's easier because I don't have to pull the wire towards me. All I need to do is just curl it down. So it's easier on my hand. Now, it didn't really turn out the same way again. So I'm just going to hold it with 2 pairs of pliers and I'm just going to twist it so they are sitting nicely. Both of the eyes are facing the same way. So that is doing a couple of ways to do it with the traditional sort of cutters and your round nose pliers. Now let's get out this beauty here. With this one, you do get a little bit of wiggle room on your beads, but I think once you make your jewelry up, it does disappear. So it's kind of a very quick way of doing it. So I'm just going to add a bead on there. I just got an 8mm bead here. Let me just get these out of the way. And you're going to insert this into your one-step looper. So the bead, the eye is just, that works exactly the same for hat pins as well. And then I'm going to put this in my plier, and there's a little hole on the other side where I'm going to push this out just like that. Can you see? Now, if we slightly flex your wire, it's just going to hold it in there, and it's not going to like sort of start to push the handles together. It's going to hold it in there, and then you can reposition it. And all you need to do is this, look. And that's it. Our loop is done. And I can lift this off. I can open this up, lift this up. The loop, what it makes is somewhat gonna be a little bit open, but I'm not too worried about that, because when I'm making my links, I can actually add the jump ring into this one. Instead of opening the jump ring, I'm gonna close this. So again, it makes life really, really easy. So with this tool, I can sit there in an evening and I can make thousands of them very, very quickly, because at the same time as, let's do some hat pin as well to show you, the same time as it turns your loops, it cuts your wire as well. It's really a fantastic, fantastic tool. I cannot recommend it enough. Again, you can see, so it does give like a little bit of wiggle room. Let me just hold this up with a pair of pliers. So it does give a little bit of wiggle room on the bead, but it's not too much. And if your jewelry is hanging down, you're not really gonna see it at all. So it's a really quick way and nice way. And if you have got problems in with your hands, like arthritis or like, you know, mobility in it, when you can't really hold on to things and for a long period of time, this makes life really, really easy. So I'm going to show you again, just popping it through that little loop there. And all I need to do is just to bring these together, and it's forming my little loop. And that's it. That's how easy it is to work with this tool. I really do love it. The looper is not hard to push at all. Let me show you one more time and show you on a smaller bead. So this is only a 6mm bead. Sometimes cutting the wire and turning the loops on smaller beads, and I grab a 4mm one as well and I show you, can be hard on your hands because you haven't got too much to hold on to. And that's why when these are come into use, that you can really, so I can even push it together with 2 hands. So I'm not even gripping onto it. So if I got a problem that I can't hold on to, you can always get your other hand to help. Otherwise, you just hold it as a normal plier and just push it through. Let's find a 4mm bead for you so I can show it on you, that one. Because 4mm is even harder to do the loops on the top when you do them naturally, because you only got the tiny enough. Oh, let's do this. So I just got one of the ends which we cut off. I'm gonna go and pop this into my one-step looper. I'm not going to, I just want to catch the end where I'm not going to go all the way through and pop it into the hole. I just want to catch the end where it's, can you see where it's going to start to fold it over? And I very easily, I can make a new eye pin out of my ends with it. And look how uniform is that. Now, of course, you can do the same thing with your pliers. So just using some of the odd ends up, what we have there. So I can pick this up and I can make exactly the same thing with my pliers. I'm just gonna bring it around and then turn that P to, so it sits up nice. I can do that with pliers as well, but have a look, how long does it take me to do it with pliers, and how many movements do I have to do in my hand to get that exactly perfectly, this perfect loop on the end. And with this one, I can just insert it in there, just catching it. Let me just bring this up. I'm just going to catch it there at the end and just bring it around. And before I let it go, I just pull this down, so that's sort of centralized my little loop there. And that's all you do. And then you can add your bead onto it. So now I just used the leftover bits, and this time I'm going to insert it as much towards the loop as I can. I might even it's even go through that little hole there on the plier. Can you see that little hole? Hold on to this. So I get a as little gap as I can, and then I just turn it and turn my loop. Again, if you haven't got this, you can do the traditional way. Once you turn your loop, I'm just going to add a bead on top of it. I'm going to have to trim this a little bit because it's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna bend it first. It depends. You can bend it first, you can trim it first. Whatever works for me, whatever method works for me, it might not be the method for you, but whatever method works for you, it might be perfect for someone else. And again, I'm just going to turn that loop all the way down, closing it in, making sure my loops are not wonky, getting just another pair of pliers. And really that's it there to it. Have you got any questions on these loops? Let me know. Please put a Q in front of question. Which size of one step loop I use most, Judith is asking. So this one is the 2.25 millimeter loop. There are larger ones, and I think there is a smaller one. I think I've got 3 sizes, but this is the yellow one, is the one I use the most. The larger ones will make you larger loops on the top. So if you're doing things where you have to hook together like more jump rings or more bits of pieces into the same loops, then it's worth to do with the larger one. But this is the one you really want. This is smaller than the 3 millimeter one, yes. Can we mix and match the bundle when we are buying? Sorry, today are made up, so either the golds or either the silvers together. They prepared the stock, so it can all sort of ship out tomorrow, because we had to, because I'm coming in on Thursday and doing the anniversary bundles with everybody. So tomorrow, that's what we're going to be concentrating on. We had to work together, so the bundles are already made up. Oh, Jen, thank you so much for the stars. Right, okay, so any more questions about loops? Or we can move on to linking things up, and you can link them up in so many different ways. So I'm just going to bring some of the samples in. So this one is just linked with the 4 millimeter jump ring, which is great because like it sort of disappears in it. This one is linked with the 6 millimeter jump rings. Can you see like the difference between it? Just the jump ring is a little bit big. Either way you could do it. They are both in your kit, and this is what I really want to show you. This one has got a little bit of a more of a chainmail feature on this one, and we've done this 2-on-2 with Sarah before. Can't remember the date, don't ask me the date, but we have done it over the last year, and very soon we will be launching. You can look at all these dates and by technique as well. Leanne is just finishing up and working on them, and you just have to go into the chainmail one. I'm hoping it will be ready this week, so you can have a lot, and Sarah did as well, but we can have a little bit of recap. You can do all sorts of different things. So from here, once you made up your components and they all sort of nicely sitting on your mat, or Mina on the Sunday bead, or a Sunday bead, the last Sunday, Mina, she has got a little box and she turns the loops and just keeps the loops all in the box. So that keeps them all together. Plus, it's a great way to, when you only got 5 minutes, all you need to do is just turn some loops, and then, you know, you can come back and later on add them together. So I'm just going to grab some jump rings. I'm going to grab some 4 mil and some 6 mil. Now, I know quite a few of you do struggle sometimes with the 4 millimeter jump ring because they're quite small and you want to add things into it, and it can get frustrated, and you feel like, you know, a lot of people, especially I like to use the 4x1 millimeter jump rings. They're a little bit thicker because they are much stronger than the 0.7 ones. Your pins are 0.8, so they are closer. They are the closer ones to your pin. So opening and closing a jump ring, we've done this so many times. I'm going to hold and support the jump ring as much as I can with my, hold on, let me just move some of this out so my camera will focus on the jump ring. There we go. So I'm holding the little cut of the jump ring right at the top there. I'm going to support it as much as I can with 2 pairs of pliers. I'm going to twist one towards me and the other one away. So I'm twisting it apart. Then I'm going to add a couple of links on here. Just like that. and then I'm going to twist it back in. Now when I'm twisting it back in, I'm going to go past the midway just a tiny bit, and it's going to spring shut. If I wiggle the two ends, I kind of want them to rub together. If they are a little bit separated, because sometimes you get a jump ring with a little bit of like a gap between them, then I would open it and just sort of flex it towards, open it to the other side, flex it towards each other, and then back into the middle, and then you still got the nice round shape. And that's all you're gonna do. If you just want to do one bead, one link, one bead, one link all the way along, so I can get 6, 8 mil. Let's use, oh, I got some already joined together. Let's use those 10 mils on there. So I'm going to open up another one. I'm going to hook these two together. Now, if you have a pile of open jump ring, that really makes sense when you do something like this, because in that case, I don't have to put this down. So if I have got, let me just pop this down. If I have got an open pile of jump rings just like that down on my mat, I only need a few, and open up another one. Actually, I'm going to open up another one so I can add more beads. So if I got an open pile, I'm just going to hold that with one hand. I'm adding this onto it. Let's add an 8 mil on there. And then I'm going to close this back in. And instead of putting my work down and getting the next jump ring open, I can just pick this jump ring up. And as I'm picking it up, I can straight hook it onto my work, so I didn't let it go, and go into and add the next bead, just like that. And again, I'm just gonna close it. And instead of putting it down, I'm just gonna go in and add the next jump ring. Now, if you wanted to add just a jump ring, then that's you would do your 2x2s, or just a single jump ring all the way on, adding them one by one and joining them up and turning them into a chain. You don't have to have a bead everywhere, so you could just have, in some parts you can have just the jump ring themselves. Now, if you wanted to do the 4 mil, you could do exactly the same, but I'm going to show you just a little trick. So I could open this jump ring. This is quite small, much smaller than the 6 mil. So when you open this and you are trying to add 2 of your links in there, you can do, and it will go on, and you will be able to go back in there and hold it and shut it. But if you find this too fiddly, then what you can do, instead of opening that jump ring, I can lift the loop on the top of my, and I did the same motion. So can you see it was shut just like that? And I'm not pulling it out, I'm lifting it up. So I'm holding this firmly in one hand, and I'm just lifting the loop towards up the end of the wire up towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to take my bead. There is an 8 mil bead. No, I can add the bead itself if I wanted to. I want to take the jump ring. I'm just going to grab a jump ring and add the jump ring on there and close this back in. Now, of course, this way you're going to have to open and close more sections. And then I'm going to take another 8 mil, and again, I'm not opening the jump ring, I'm opening the link on my, and then adding the jump ring onto it. Now, if you're doing this method, then what you have to make sure, this is a little bit more time consuming, I guess, but it's easier to do. But if you're going to do this, what I like to do, and sometimes I do things like that, I pick up the 4 mil before and I prepare them, because sometimes when you get the jump rings, I'm going to bring this in close and I hope you can see it, they're not shut all the way. They will be good enough, but they're not shut all the way. And I'm quite a perfectionist myself, so I do like to go in and just sort of make sure they're shut completely, and then I pop them in the pile. so I can work with it that way. Oh, Charlotte, thank you so much for the stars. I really, really appreciate it. Every single one of them we very appreciate it. We're gonna treat I'm gonna treat the two Sarahs to a spa day when everything goes back to a little bit more normal, and then I'm gonna treat the staff to something at Totally Beads as well. And actually, I didn't bring it in. I was supposed to bring it in. So I'll this is it. This is how easy it is to make your beaded chain, and you can add them together. You can build them up very, very easily. And there are other things you could do if you wanted to do this sort of stuff, and you have got a little almost like charms at the end. You turn your beads into charms. You do exactly the same, but instead of using an eye pin, you're going to use the hat pin in your kit. Really easy. I love things like this because when I just have 5 minutes to do something, or if I'm waiting for something to start, or quite often, like if we're traveling somewhere and like, well, not at the moment, but I always take things to do in the car. I love doing like things like this because you can just sit there and, you know, either make your beads as you go along, pick it up, put it down whenever you feel like it, and soon enough you're going to have a lot of jewelry there to what you can make up with it. Right, so let me just zoom out so you can see more of the samples, and I can bring them in again. Experiment with it, really just experiment with it. There is so much different things you could do. I love this. You can make asymmetric jewelry with it. You could make longer jewelry. You could make shorter jewelry. Really, it's up to you. Do check out it on the website because Simon has given us an offer today as well. I said to him, like, you're gonna have to give an you spoiled us so much yesterday. You're gonna have to give us a good offer today as well. And he did, bless him. So look, I love this one. When you bring the two eye pins together and then just do a little bit of dangle a bit at the front. So it's more like a V, it turns into like a V-shaped necklace. But instead of this, you could add like a pendant or anything else onto it. This is just on this necklace, this is quite long. We only used a handful of beads. We hardly used any from the kit. And just look at this one. This one is really nice. Just like one on and off, like with a jump ring joined together. I love this one because this is graduated, and I'm gonna move this over a little bit. Using, you can really see it there, like using the largest one at the front and then tapering it down and using smaller ones as you go all the way to the back. Multicolor ones, again, you can do all sorts of different things. I love it. I really do love them. Earrings you can make. I love this one. And this is the thing, like with earrings, if you do sell your jewelry, that's where you're going to get your money back, because you can create so many of them quite quickly. And these ones, and what I love about it is that, have a look at that, each one of those beads are kind of unique because it's depending of how they cut it out of the lava, so what part of it they capture. Some of them is going to have larger holes, some of them is going to have smaller holes. It kind of reminds me of the moon. When I look at lava beads or things like this, it reminds me of the surface of the moon. I just really love it. I love the textures, how you can add them together and how you can make them up. So I hope any questions, let me know, and I can answer it for you before I hop off. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this inspired you. I know this is something a bit more simpler, but sometimes we need those simple makes. Sometimes we need to just be able to sit down and not have to think about things and just have a simple makes. But you can take it as much as you want to. As I said, you could do 2-on-2 chain, or you could do all sorts of other chainmail patterns with it. You can do so many things with this kit. I really love it because sometimes it's just nice to sit there and just turn loops and not to think about what you have to do next. Okay, so oh, Charlotte, thank you so much for the stars. Judy's asking, Kitty, please put one pic with all the samples. I think they added it to the products, but if not, then I get Leanne on that straight away after the live. So just to bring in, these are all the golds. I love them. You get not like a full bag of eye pins, full bag of head pins. I'm using some of these head pins. That's why you see them. They're a bit more. I laid them out so nicely this morning, and then I went to move them, and they all sort of rolled about and moved about. But you get loads with the kits. So because you get 10 pairs of ear wires and you get 10 clasp as well, you can make 10 sets of jewelry or each one of the sets, because you don't have to have the beads going all the way around. You can do all sorts of different things. Right, now before I run off, I do really need to say thank you for Diana Crossley. Thank you so much. So yesterday when we finished live, it was really emotional, and everybody was great, and it was just like, I didn't like our anniversary lives. And what happened is I went to my desk, and on my desk there was this big box, and I was like, what is this? And some said, oh, it came to the live, like, while you were live, it came. So Diana Crossley, thank you so much she sent me a hamper. She sent me like a little hamper. Thank you so much. It's really appreciated. You make me feel like a rock star. Bless you. Thank you. Oh, Carrie, and thank you for the stars as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely day. Do check out the deals on the website, because this one is on the lowest price ever. Simon has given us a really good deal on these ones. And then if you haven't seen the live, check out the live yesterday, because those offers are only on there until tonight, because we will be making the samples up. So look, you could make a little bit longer jewelry. I really do love it. You could do so many different things with this kit. So do check it out on the website. But you know the gym. Diana is so lovely. Lucy saying yes, she is. She's really lovely. I'm so lucky to have her in my community, and I'm so lucky to have every one of you in the community as well, because you have been a great support over the last year, and not just to me, but to each other as well. Right, thank you, everybody. Have a lovely day. Happy beading, everybody. If the sun is shining where you are, then maybe you could bead in the garden. I think we are getting warmer now, and if not, then it's the perfect base to stay inside and just enjoy your hobby. Bye, everybody. See you later.